from my fear.
I think for me personally, I think there's reasons. There's more reasons to be afraid the older that you get.
I find that people get less afraid the older they get.
Well, it depends on how, when you get older, how your life involves other people. Because then it goes to our definition and our concept of control. I wasn't afraid in my 20s. I wasn't afraid of anything. I did a lot of stupid shit. I jumped off bridges in New Hampshire. I jumped into quarries over 100 feet off the ground. I got a picture of it in my office. That was only a dive from 28 feet. It was a very nice swan dive. And anyway, we should have that photo up, by the way. But as I got older, and as I chose to get married, Doc Stevens, you're going to be doing that soon, and you decide to make a family. I've said this before. There's a key moment in your life. Me personally, as a parent, I can only speak from my perspective. When I had children, probably when they were 3 and 1, and I'm watching them play, I had an outer body experience. Literally kind of movie-like. The boom with the mic and the video on the arm pulls all the way back, all the way up to the corner of the ceiling. And I realized that life was no longer about me. That's when you become afraid.
And why do some people find that, like when you did, or later in life, or earlier in life? Why do you think that happens differently for people to find that?
That's a great question, because I think it all, again, it's my personal experience, and it's not a judgment of what other people may in life be. I'm talking about, I didn't truly realize what anxiety was until I became a father. And as a former athlete and as a former competitor, because what you realize very quickly is there's so much you can't control.
Yes.
I tell the story where I'm out cleaning snow and ice off of my car early morning. My son is about 2 years old. My daughter wasn't born yet. My wife was pregnant, not born yet. And we had a side entrance with a glass door and a screen door that was only locked from the inside with a latch. And where we lived at the time, you would go out, you would go up about 10 stairs to the street level, and we had on-street parking. So I'm cleaning off my car, you get shoveled, you get plowed in, I'm digging out. It's very early in the morning, about 6 inches of snow on the ground, and I'm out shoveling my car. And the plow is going by, cleaning the street, and I'm shoveling and scraping the ice off, and I just kind of catch this movement out of my left eye. And I think it's some kind of dog or something that's walking the street, and I turn and I double take, and it's my son, who is standing in the middle of the street, who somehow, some way followed me outside, unlatched the door from the inside, went up the 12 stairs, went out to the street looking for me, and wandered out into the street. It was the most terrifying moment of my life. My heart rate right now just went up 20 beats. And you know what I did when I picked him up? I yelled at him.
Mm-hmm.
I yelled at him.
You were scared.
Oh, I was scared out of my mind. I yelled at him. And he started to cry hysterically because he was excited to see Daddy, and that moment was extremely conflicting for him. I was out of my mind with fear. And that's my whole point of, as you get older, you become more fearful.
Yeah.
Again, my personal experience. So what I do with that now that I have a 17-year-old son and a 15-year-old daughter is I'm constantly saying to them, recognize your fear. Reach out for it. This is what it looks like. It's okay. So there's a part of me that tries to normalize it. Mm-hmm. But on the same token, let's talk about how it impacts you, how it sculpts your thoughts, your feelings, eventually your behaviors. Because the sooner, to your point, Jess, that you widen that bubble and you start to realize that the things that you first thought you were afraid of, you're not.